We can get into the health of this industry a little bit, but the sheer size of the overall industry, the size, 188, why is that important?
Yes, gaming is the most significant portion of the entertainment market today, right? We're larger than linear TV, we're larger than OTT, we're larger than movies, music, in many cases, some of those industries combined. Gaming has continued to grow. It's proven that it's recession resilient. It's been tested and tried in just about every way, shape, and form. And yes, we're really pleased to see that funding has normalized. The last 6 quarters, we're seeing roughly around $500 to $600 million invested on a quarterly basis into games. We see no reason that will stop. And that paired with interest rates driving down, open up the IPO markets, pretty bullish on a 2025 for games.
Jason, given the size, the sheer scale of the overall industry, how much of a chunk of change does it get in the VC area? Is it synonymous to the extent of its size in entertainment broadly?
Yes. So if you look at larger venture, there's about $50 to $60 billion invested a quarter. We're seeing about 500 to 600 million of that in games. So it is a significant portion. It's also a lot more stable. I think you see a lot less flash in the pans as you're seeing right now. A couple years ago in Web3, or this year you're seeing in AI. Gaming is kind of steady state, and so we're very pleased to see that. We're expecting to see continued interest this rounding out this year and also leading into 2025.
I want to just try out if we can get all three of us on screen for a moment. Because,
let's do it.
Ed, we had such a fun conversation last week, Thursday. We're in LA. We're discussing sort of the industry more broadly when it comes to gaming. And we had a legend from Blizzard join the show. He's got a new studio. But there is still a lot to sort of focus on when it comes to the development of games and how hard it is.
Right.
Yes.
You're talking about Mike Morhaime, and last night I was at an event with Jason Schreier with loads of developers in the room. And the reason I'm so fixated on Jason's 188 billion number is it's getting bigger. But all the people in that room, Jason, who were developers, would tell you that they're suffering. Layoffs at video game publishers and developers are increasing. The crunch, you know exactly what that is more real than ever. So why is the industry getting bigger?
I mean, I think it's getting bigger because people continue to want to spend time in interactive environments. If you look at younger generations, they're spending less and less time watching TV, which is passive. They want to be in an environment that they can interact and impact. And so that's absolutely true. Why is there the crunch in games? People talk about this a lot, is because, look, users are very demanding. We expect a lot from our games. We've been spoiled over the years. We have great creatives producing high quality content that we get to enjoy on a daily and weekly basis, and that's never going to stop. I think you're talking about the layoffs. Yes, we've seen about 13,000 jobs lost in the games industry that we've tracked from the public companies. That's likely a lot higher if you include private companies. We expect that we'll see more. And I think that's a healthy thing for the industry. I know that's really hard to say and hard to hear, but we overhired during the boom era. We're going through a right sizing now, and it's really encouraging to see that even in that right sizing, our industry continues to thrive and to grow. And that is an encouraging reality, I think, for those in the games, and one that we should all remember.
What's not healthy at the moment is child safety. And look, I've got a 7-year-old at home who is desperate to be on Roblox and on Minecraft. Instead, I had him books about it because I've got to get my safety precautions in gear, understand how I make him safe online before I let him do it. How are you thinking about what's happening versus TikTok, the child safety bill, and also how that embroils things like Roblox?
As kids spend more and more time online, and I have a lot of empathy for this as a parent myself, you have to take that very seriously in every way, shape, and form, right? So wherever this is and wherever it is, that's where you need to protect the kids. And so when we're looking at this, we think about this in a lot of different ways, and every single gaming firm has to reconcile that if you command a kid's time, you're taking responsibility in sort of digital daycare. We've invested pretty heavily in this space. One of our investments is KID, which is actually tackling this issue straight on, which is trying to promote and ensure that the companies are compliant with different regulations across the globe. This is one of the huge challenges for games companies. Again, I have a lot of empathy for them. When you release a game in over 100 countries. Trying to stay compliant and ensure that every kid is safe according to the laws is very difficult, and that's why we made this investment early on, and they've continued to thrive. I think what you're highlighting too, Caroline, with Roblox, obviously the Hindenburg report that came out was pretty intense with their allegations, I'd say, towards kind of two sides of the house. One is child safety. The other one is kind of their financial metrics. I'll hone in on the child safety metrics for a second.
Briefly, yeah.
They have to take this very seriously. It's something they have to look into. But until proven otherwise, I think that Roblox has proven to be a best-in-class digital property. I would like to think that they can handle these issues head on.